I begin in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Today, I have come to you, brothers and sisters, with the true testimony of 3 people. I hope that today's testimony will change your life and mine. May God be your helper and supporter. I am your servant, Asher Kamal. 1. Setting. A mystical world where certain individuals, the chosen ones, are believed to have a special destiny. Introduce the main characters, Arya, Kale, and Lyriel, each with unique powers and backgrounds. 2. Explanation of the prophecy that foretells the arrival of the chosen ones to restore balance to the realms. Their individual struggles and doubts about being chosen, and the burden it brings. 3. The awakening of an ancient evil threatening their world. A celestial event that catalyzes their journey, with signs that they must heed. 4. The trio sets out on their quest, facing trials that test their bonds and powers. Encountering mystical creatures and remnants of old magic. 5. Internal conflicts among the chosen ones as they confront their fears and insecurities. A major setback that makes them question their destiny. 6. A discovery that deepens their understanding of the prophecy and their roles. Characters begin to embrace their strengths. 7. A battle against the ancient evil that challenges everything they believe in. A moment where they must unite their powers for the first time. 8. Triumph over evil, leading to a transformation in their world. The bonds of friendship solidify as they realize the true meaning of chosen. 9. Reflections on their journey and a new beginning for their realm. Hint of future adventures as peace is restored. In the realm of Eldoria, where the mountains kissed the heavens and rivers whispered ancient secrets, a prophecy lingered in the air like a soothing song. It foretold the arrival of the chosen ones. Individuals blessed by destiny to wield unimaginable powers and restore balance when darkness threatened to engulf their world. They were the harbingers of hope, the bearers of light. Yet, unbeknownst to them, the weight of that title would forge their fates in ways they could not yet comprehend. Arya stood at the edge of the crystal lake, her reflection rippling beneath the surface like a dream barely held together. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue across the water, but her heart felt heavy with uncertainty. She was one of them, the chosen ones. But as she gazed into her own eyes, she felt like a mere shadow of destiny's intention. "Why must we carry this burden?" she murmured, her voice barely rising above the gentle lapping of water against the shore. "Musing again, are we?" came a teasing voice from behind. Kale, the fiery red-haired sorcerer, approached with a mischief glinting in his emerald eyes. "You know the elders claim that the stars themselves chose us." "Chosen, yes, but for what?" she replied, frustration creeping into her tone. "To serve as pawns in a game we barely understand." Before Kale could respond, a rustling in the bushes drew their attention. Lyriel, their third companion and a guardian of the wilds, stepped into the clearing. Her silver hair shimmered like moonlight, and her presence carried the serene essence of the forest. "Darkness stirs," she said, concern etching lines upon her brow. "The ancient evil we've heard whispered in tales may be awakening. We cannot afford to doubt ourselves now." Kale crossed his arms, glancing toward the horizon as if seeking answers from the setting sun. "We need to find more than just strength. We need purpose. Why were we chosen, and what are we truly meant to achieve?" Lyriel's gaze softened. She understood the weight they all carried, the expectations, the fears, and the looming question of whether they were destined to fulfill the prophecy or merely be its victims. "Perhaps it is time we seek out the Council of Elders," Lyriel suggested. "They might hold answers to our questions." Arya nodded reluctantly, though a sense of dread settled in her stomach at the thought. The elders spoke in riddles, and their words often carried burdens they hadn't anticipated. But perhaps it was the only way to uncover the truth about the looming darkness and their role in confronting it. The journey to the elders' sanctuary was laden with trepidation. They ascended the misty peaks, where the air grew thin and the clouds wrapped around them like shrouds of uncertainty. As they approached the heights, Arya felt a stirring within her, an essence of magic that pulsed alongside the beating of her heart. Arriving at the sanctuary, they were greeted by the ancient figures of the council. Each elder bore decades, centuries, of wisdom etched into their lined faces, their eyes alight with a keen understanding of the threads that wove the fabric of fate. "Chosen ones," boomed Elder Thalion, his voice echoing off the stone walls. "You stand before us, drawn by echoes of destiny. Do you understand the depth of your calling?" We're uncertain," Arya replied, her voice wavering. "What is it we are meant to face, and how can we fulfill this prophecy?" Elder Leora, with eyes like deep pools reflecting the cosmos, regarded them thoughtfully. "The darkness you sense is a remnant of the Shadow King, an ancient evil that was sealed long ago. However, the enchantments are weakening, and he stirs once more." The words sent a chill through Arya's bones, and she instinctively reached for Kale's hand. "But why us? Powers do we possess that we can counter such malevolence?" "Your powers are intertwined with the very essence of the realms," Thalion explained. "You were chosen not only for your abilities but for the strength of your hearts. You must forge unity among yourselves. Only through trust and camaraderie can you unlock the full potential of your destinies." "Unity," Kale echoed, skepticism dripping from his tone. "But what if we fail to unite? What if our differences drive us apart?" "Then darkness shall reign," Leora replied solemnly. "It is your strength, your individuality, that must be woven together to form the tapestry of your destiny. Only then will you awaken the true magic that lies within." With their minds swirling with fear and resolve, the trio descended the misty peaks, the weight of their newfound understanding heavy upon them. They knew their journey would not be easy, and that the path ahead was fraught with challenges designed to test every fiber of their being and the bonds they shared. As days turned into weeks, they traveled through enchanted forests, barren wastelands, and ancient ruins, each place revealing both its beauty and its danger. They encountered creatures of light and shadow, learned to harness their abilities, and discovered the depths of fear and doubt that lurked within each of them. One fateful evening, as they camped by a flickering fire beneath a starlit sky, Kale spoke up. "I've been thinking about what we talked about with the elders. Perhaps we should embrace our differences, rather than fear them. Arya, your intuition can guide us. Lyriel, your connection with nature can protect us." "And what about you, Kale?" Lyriel countered playfully. "What do you bring to this team aside from your endless charm?" A smirk danced on Kale's lips. A touch of fire, of course. Yet beneath the banter, there lurked earnestness, an acknowledgement of the critical role each of them played in the unfolding saga of their lives. As laughter and camaraderie swirled around the fire, something shifted in the air, a spark of hope igniting within their hearts, a promise that they were not just isolated entities but rather a powerful trinity meant to face the darkness. The days blurred together until finally, whispers of discord reached their ears. The ancient evil was stirring, corrupting lands and sowing discord among the creatures of Eldoria. It was no longer a distant threat, it was real, tangible, and fast approaching. "Arya, can you feel it?" Lyriel asked one night as they gazed toward the ominous clouds forming in the distance. "The world is shifting. We must confront this darkness, or many will suffer." "I can feel it, the chaos, the anger," Arya responded, her heart burdened with the weight of responsibility. Each night, she dreamt of visions more vivid than the last, cities shrouded in shadow. Cries for help echoed in her mind. It was a warning, perhaps a call to arms. Then came the day when they arrived at the edge of the shattered veil. A place where light struggled to penetrate the thick, oppressive shadows. It was said that the Shadow King had begun to breach the barriers between realms, seeking not just power but total domination. Together, they stepped forward, the air crackling with tension. They had trained for this, prepared for the fight, yet the dread roiling in Arya's stomach felt almost insurmountable. "Remember what the elders said," Kale urged as they approached the heart of the veil, where the darkness swirled like a living entity. "We face this together, or we do not face it at all." As they entered the veil, the air seemed to grow colder, shadows coiling around them like tendrils. With each step, they felt the ominous presence watching, waiting. And then, as if emerging from the very darkness itself, the Shadow King appeared. A figure cloaked in darkness, his eyes like molten gold piercing into their souls. "Ah, the chosen ones," the Shadow King taunted, his voice deep and resonant, echoing off the stone walls surrounding them. "You've come to face your destiny, yet you are but children playing with fire. I will extinguish your light." Arya felt the depths of despair threaten to consume her, but then she remembered the warmth of her friends beside her, their shared laughter, the moments of vulnerability, and the strength they had derived from one another. Together, she shouted, as if the word alone could bind their spirits. Kale stepped forward, fiery determination illuminating his features. We are not mere children, and you will not take what is rightfully ours. With a unison of purpose, they summoned their powers. Lyriel called forth the essence of nature itself, roots and vines spiraling around them, creating a protective barrier. Kale's flames ignited around him like a fierce phoenix, and Arya, drawing upon the depths of her magic, allowed her intuition to unfurl, connecting their energies in a brilliant tapestry of light. Together, they unleashed their combined abilities against the encroaching darkness, and the veil shook with equal parts fear and magnificence. The clash of magic resonated with the very foundations of Eldoria itself, and the shadows fought back, enveloping them with chilling tendrils. Yet in that moment of chaos, Arya felt a surge of understanding. We can't fight the darkness alone, she shouted, her voice breaking through the cacophony. We must share our strength. It was then that the magic within them harmonized, each strength enhancing the other. Kale's fire melded with Lyriel's earth, grounding Arya's radiant energy in a kaleidoscope of color that burst forth, breaking the chains of darkness threatening to bind them. With a final surge of power, they converged their energy into one brilliant beam, a radiant light that pierced through the shadows. For a moment, time seemed to still. The Shadow King faltered, the darkness recoiling as the light expanded and enveloped him. No, he bellowed, his voice a blend of rage and despair as the overwhelming light surged forward, driving him back into the void from whence he came. This cannot be. As the blinding light enveloped everything, a deep rumble echoed across the veil, and the shadows receded, dismantling the dark fortress that had threatened their realm. In the aftermath, silence reigned as the trio stood amid the remnants of the battlefield, their breathing heavy, hearts pounding. The air felt crisp, invigorating, as dawn began to break over the horizon, casting warmth across the landscape. You did it, Lyriel breathed as she turned to Arya and Kale, eyes sparkling with the remnants of their shared magic. We did it. Kale let out a breathy laugh, exhilaration mixing with disbelief. I can't believe we actually fought the Shadow King and lived to tell the tale. Arya rose to her feet, the weight of their journey lifting, replaced by a profound understanding of their purpose. This is just the beginning. We are not just chosen ones, we are united in this fight. With the horizon painted in hues of gold and amber, the trio welcomed the dawn that marked both an end and a new beginning, a promise kept as they stood resolute against a future rich with potential and adventure. As heaven laughed in joy, the bond they had forged proved to be their greatest strength. They knew that no matter the challenges that lay ahead, they would face them together, guided by the light of friendship and love. In the silence of the morning, they shared a knowing glance, a silent pact that they were, indeed, the chosen ones, and together they would shape the future of Eldoria. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment to share your valuable feedback. Thank you.